Bad show tonight, everybody. Name my topic tonight. It's called Name my topic tonight. It's called Bullshit in Boston. It's my topic tonight. Before I do open up something with a little bit of music, I'm gonna open the show with the song Glory of Love by P. Cetera from the Karate Kid Part 2 soundtrack. So stick around, right back. You're playing right back. Yeah, Glory of Love, all you just heard by Peter Cetera from the Karate Kid Part 2 movie soundtrack. I love that movie, and I love that song. Let's get down to business with tonight's terrible show. Okay, AEW Dynamite kicks off with highlights of last week's show. AEW Tag Team Championship Christian Cage and Colt versus Tag Team Champions versus the Death Riders, Will Yuta and Daniel Garcia. The bell rings are underway. Sorry about that noise, everybody. Super sorry about that noise. Copa and Yuta start the match. Copa throws Yuta into the ropes, and Copa with a knee to the face. Cage is tagged in, and they throw Yuta to the ropes, but Yuta holds the ropes. Garcia is tagged in. Garcia goes through for a right hand, but Cage with right hands. Copa is tagged in. They double team Garcia. Copa with a chop to the chest. Copa gets on the ring apron and he hits Yuta down. Garcia distracts the referee and Yuta trips to Copa. They double team Cope on the outside of the ring. Then go to commercial break. Back from commercial, Cope will body slam onto Garcia. Yuta and Cage are tagged in. Cage with right hands and he climbs the top rope and lands on a headbutt. He goes for the cover, but Yuta kicks out. Cope and Garcia get in the ring, but Cope with a clothesline and both men to the outside of the ring. Garcia with a German suplex on Cage. Goes for the cover, but Cage kicks out. Yuta gets in the ring and he distracts the referee. Cage with a low blow onto Garcia, and in comes Cope. He hits Garcia with a spear. Cope goes for the cover and gets the pin. Winner is still World Tag Team Champions Christian Cage and Cope. Those for the benefit of flash photography. We see the Young Bucks watching from the crowd. Claudio Castagnoli and the Dogs attack Cage and Cope after the match. They hit him with right hands, but out come Big Bang Game as Claudio and the Dogs leave the ring. We see the conglomeration backstage with Renee Paquette, and then come to the man. Lethal with a twist show up behind the conglomeration, and they hit him from behind. Then we go to commercial break. Jake Doyle versus Andrade El Diablo. The bell rings and we're underway. Doyle throws Andrade to the outside of the ring, and he hits him with right hands, and he throws Andrade back into the ring. He hits towards Andrade, but Andrade with a big boot to the face. Andrade with a Hurricanrana and Doyle to the outside of the ring, and Andrade on the ring apron, and he lands in a Hurricanrana. Then go commercial break. Back from commercial, Andrade with a clothesline, and Doyle is down in the corner. Andrade goes for the double knees, but Doyle with a shoulder tackle. Doyle goes for the splash, but Andrade moves out of the way. Doyle rolls to the outside of the rope, and Andrade climbs to the second rope. He lands on a moonsault to the outside of the ring. Andrade throws Doyle back into the ring. Andrade gets in the ring, but Doyle with a powerbomb. He goes for the cover, but Andrade kicks out. Doyle grabs Andrade, but Andrade with two suplexes. He lands on a third suplex. He goes for the cover, but Doyle kicks out. Andrade with double knees, he goes for the cover, but Doyle kicks out. Andrade climbs the top rope and he jumps, but Doyle with the right hand. Doyle with an elbow to the face, he goes for the cover, but Andrade kicks out. Doyle throws Andrade to the ropes. Andrade with a crucifix cover, but Doyle kicks out. Andrade with a spinning elbow followed by a double undertook. He goes for cover and gets the win. Winner Andrade El Diablo. Commercial break. Back from commercial, Tony Schiavone is in the ring. There's a red carpet in the ring. He introduces the AEW World Champion Kenny Omega to the ring. Omega's music hits and out he comes. As he's about to speak, out come the Young Bucks and they're carrying something in a gold bag. They tell Omega that they have been the best friends in this business for nearly 20 years. They tell him last week they saw him do it all by himself. They tell him that they are proud of him, and he proved that he is the best professional wrestler on the planet. But him wearing that particular belt peeves them, and they brought him something. They take out the AEW title belt and takes out Omega's BBB title belt. Omega says, "Unbelievable. It's been 100 and some days. It's been so long that he wasn't even sure that he'd be able to hold the title ever again." He says the difference maker was that his family, his friends and family, and the fans believing in him. He says if it wasn't for them believing in him, he would giving up on himself a long time ago. He says there is less than 50 days remaining until the Wembley Stadium. As much as he would, he'd like to say that he is ready. There's still a lot of work to do. He says in 50 days, they will see the best version of Kenny Omega that they ever saw. Out come Will Ospreay to the ring. He asked the Young Bucks that if he can have one-on-one conversation with Omega. Young Bucks leave the ring, and Ospreay asks for the fans if he can speak on their behalf. He says it is good to see Kenny Omega as the AEW World Champion again. He says at one point he thought Omega had given on himself. He says Omega needed to believe in him. He needed to believe that he can beat Kenny Omega. He says Omega never gave up, and he saw him hit with a belt. Ospreay says he thought Omega was going to lose, but Omega kicked out. He says Omega's back. One of the greatest ever do is back. He says 10 years Omega was his hero. You gotta watch him wrestle. He has inspired to be the best wrestler he can ever be, and he thanks Omega for that. Omega tells him that he is not happy with being in the ring the second he was going to keep it going every week. They're to be out showing everyone why they are the position they're in. They says this is dream come true. They're about to shake hands, but out comes Kevin Knight. He tells Ospreay that he and Kenny Omega have to talk about something and the champion. Omega says Ospreay can stay Knight, and tells Omega congratulations. They just the title shot. Of course, World title, of course, with Maxwell Jacob Fraudman. He says that Jake is ready to come to two belts. He challenges Omega to a match at Redemption for the AEW World Title. He tells Knight he made more on Jack Freeman made a promise tonight, asking why he would give him a title match. It was Warren Jack Freeman that promised one. He says they are not going to do that, but maybe he will give him a shot because he's a nice guy. Because the first day he saw Knight, he saw something special. He saw someone that had it. An undeniable factor that only a superstar possesses, that someone looks the part, someone faster than anyone else, someone that can jump higher than anyone else, and someone that was hungry. But that's where it ended, because he went and aligned himself with Don Callis. He says he would be a hypocrite if he told everyone that he didn't believe in him too. He says it was because of Don Callis that he held the title for the first time. He says it was during Corona when they were all told to stay indoors and no one show up to the party. He thought it was because no one could, but but the reality is no one believed in that guy. No one was proud of that guy. He says that was the day where he was worth. His self-worth felt right down the toilet. He tells Knight he does not need a guy like Don. He tells Knight that when he when he believes in him, he's saying the same words that Speedball believes, the same things that Will Ospreay believes when he says he doesn't have to be Don's lapdog. He says he can be the champion without Callis. He says one thing that Warren Jackass Freeman was not a fraud. He says the only fraud he was looking at is Knight, because he knows that Knight knows that he's not being himself. He says it will be them at Redemption. He wanted to be that Jet at Redemption, not Don's little bitch. He says Knight says that Omega was not made a good point when he said that he came all the way by himself. He says there is no goodness in his heart, only greatness. He hits Omega with a microphone. Ospreay goes for a hidden blade, but Knight leaves the ring. Darby Allin runs and hits Knight from behind. Then go to commercial break. Rodeo versus Aaron Solo and Nick Comoroto. The bell rings, they're underway. Bandito and Solo start, but Comoroto is tagged in. Nick with a military press, and in comes Brody with an electric chair. He tries to bring Bandito into a Comoroto for a cover, but Solo breaks it up. Bandito chops with a chop to the chest and a back suplex from King. He throws Comoroto onto Solo. Bandito will splash onto Solo. Brodeo goes to the cover and gets the pin. Winner is Brodeo. And go commercial break. AEW International Championship Kyle Fletcher versus Champion versus Commander. The bell rings are underway. Don Callis is on commentary. Commander with kicks. He goes for the cover, but Fletcher kicks out. Fletcher is thrown to the outside of the ring. Commander goes for a drive, but Fletcher moves out of the way. Fletcher throws him face first onto the apron. The apron Fletcher throws Commander back into the ring. Then go commercial break. Back from commercial, Commander with a 450 splash. He goes for the cover, but Fletcher kicks out. Commander climbs to the top rope, but Fletcher trips him up and he lands on a power driver. He goes for the cover, but Commander kicks out. Fletcher with a Monishiku driver goes for the cover, but Commander kicks out. Fletcher with a brainbuster, he goes for the cover and gets the pin. Winner still AEW International Champion Kyle Fletcher. After the match, Fletcher tries to take the mask off Commander, but out comes Konosuke Takeshita. He hits Fletcher with it, and out comes Kazuchika Okada. He hits Takeshita with a Rainmaker. Okada and Fletcher fight over the belt, and comes Bandito with a triple drop kick onto them. Renee is backstage with Kenny Omega. As he's about to speak, in comes Darby Allin. He tells Omega that Knight won't change overnight, but next week he will take the AEW team to try. Knight walks away. In comes Knox. He tells Omega that Allin is right way, and he walks away. We're gonna go to commercial break. Darby Allin versus Brian Cage. The bell rings are underway. Cage throws Darby to the outside of the ring and into the barricade. He lifts Darby Allin onto the ring ramp and into the ring. Cage stands on the second rope and he lifts Darby Allin up. He suplexes Darby Allin into the ring ramp. Then we go commercial break. Back from commercial, Darby Allin will kick onto Cage onto the outside of the ring. Darby Allin will coffin drop onto Cage. He throws Cage back into the ring. Allin climbs to the top rope, but Cage with right hands. Cage gets on the second rope, but Allin bites him. Allin with a sunset flip cover, but Cage kicks out. Both men roll to the outside of the ring, and Cage with a clothesline. He lifts Allin up and throws him into the ring post. Cage climbs to the ring steps and grabs Allin, but Allin takes off his belt and trips Cage with it. Allin climbs to the top rope and lands on a coffin drop onto Cage on the ring steps. Cage gets back in the ring, but Allin with 2 coffin drops. He goes for cover and gets the pin. Winner Darby Allin. Then we go commercial break. Trios match: Willow Nightingale, Maya World, and Hine versus Mercedes Moné and Divine Dominion. Lena Cross and Megan Bang. The bell rings are underway. All 6 women begin to fight in the ring. Then we go to commercial break. Back from commercial, Moné and World are in the ring. World with a suplex and Willow is tagged in. Bang is tagged in. Willow with a spine buster and she goes for a cover, but Mercedes breaks it up. All 6 women begin to fight in the ring. Cross and Hine are tagged in, but Divine Dominion double team Hine. Bang with a Falcon Arrow, she goes for a cover, but Willow breaks it up. Willow chops, but Mercedes throws Willow to the outside of the ring. Hine with a jackknife, he goes for the cover, but Mercedes kicks out. She grabs Mercedes, but Mercedes with a Monet maker onto Hine. She goes for the cover, gets the pin. Winners Mercedes Monet and the Divine Dominion. They celebrate as AEW goes off the air. Once again, the show ends with Tony Khan shoving Mercedes Moné in our throats, getting the win along with Divine Dominion. Can you believe that? Unbelievable. shoved right down our throats tonight. Complete garbage tonight. Terrible show. Okay, now I got that covered. Now you know what it's time for. It's time for Wrestling History and Birthday. It's called yesterday, July the 14th. Okay, yesterday was a happy 5th birthday to Bubba Ray Dudley of the Dudley Boys, WWE Hall of Famer. Yesterday it was a happy birthday to yesterday would have been a happy birthday to Chad Bowman. Yeah, wrestler Chad Bowman. Real name was Chad Slavinsky. He turned 54. Yeah, Diamante. Okay, Priscilla Zunga, better known as Rain Diamante, she turns 35 yesterday. Kara Drew, better known as Arena and Cherry Pie, she turns 51 yesterday. And BXB Hulk, Japanese wrestler, he turned 46 yesterday. And Jeff Jarrett turned 59 yesterday. WWE Hall of Famer Jeff Jarrett. And pop culture, some birthdays yesterday from July the 14th. Uh, Jane Lynch, from best known for Glee and hosting Hollywood Game Night, she turns 56 six 66 yesterday. Conor McGregor turned 37 yesterday, and Matthew Fox, very known for his role on a TV show, 90s teen family drama Party of Five. He turned 65 yesterday. 65 yesterday in the TV show Lost. Really good actor. Really good actor. Matthew Fox, and the 38th president of the United States, Gerald Ford. He would have been 113 years old yesterday. Yeah, he would have been 113 years old yesterday. The president of our former president of our country, Gerald Ford, was born in 1913. Japanese wrestler Koji Fujita, he turned 24. Let's see. What else? What else? Now let's go with some wrestling history. Yesterday. On WWF Primetime Wrestling, hosted by Primetime Wrestling, hosted by the late Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan. Okay, they show house clips of Micro Ton and Dan Spivey defeated Les Thornton and Chung Lee, Tiger Chung Lee at 12-16 and ran Spivey's pin Thornton with a bulldog at June 27, 1960 at Boston Garden. Then Pedro Morales pinned Moondog Spot with a reverse roll up at 7:25 June 27, 1960 Boston Garden. Holly Race pinned Tony Atlas with a sunset flip June 27, 1986 Boston Garden. That happened. Bill Jack Haynes defeated Moondog Rex sub for Paul Christie with V submission with a full Nelson at 4:58. This was shown from the Boston Garden June 27, 1966. King Tonga pinned Pete Doherty sub for Moondog Rex at 4:20 with diving headbutts by the Boston Garden June 27, 1986. And WWE Champion, the Immortal Hulk Hogan and Mr. Wonderful Paul defeated the Moondogs. And Paul Orndorff pinned Rex with a power driver at 3:48. Orndorff worked the entire match by himself and didn't tag Hogan in, despite Hogan asking to be tagged several times. Yeah, this was from the episode of Championship Wrestling, June 24, 1906, before Poughkeepsie, New York, in Men's Hudson Civic Center. Yeah, because he didn't. Who could blame when Hogan just wants to have the spotlight? Who can blame him? Hogan just wants to had a spotlight because Hogan was well, Hogan just has a Hogan takes on the spotlight, and you want to see one of the reasons why Orndorff turned on him in the first place and at his event, the big event in '86 in Canada. Then on the Action Zone, hosted by this was leading up to the In Your House International Incident. This was hosted by I think this was Todd Pettengill and Michael Doc Kendrick. Some of you know as Michael P.S. Hayes or Travis Freeberg. She shows highlights of Mark Merrill versus Adam Grove from WWF Superstars. Highlights of Vader attacking Yokozuna's leg from wrong thing. He showed that this is sorry, wrong date. This is sorry. I mean the Body Dons versus Todd Becker, right from Superstars, and they show clips of the Ultimate Warrior getting destroyed from Ron. They show footage of get Sid make his return, replace him with a 6-man tag match from the last week's Raw, and that was Monday, July 9th, 1996, and promo from Paul Bearer and Undertaker and Paul Bearer. Then on WCW main event, they show Mean Gene Okerlund and Bobby the Brain Heenan discuss about Hulk Hogan's heel turn from 1 week ago, from 1 week from go, 1 week from one day ago, from July the 7th, where at Bash Beach '96, Hulk Hogan's heel, and there was a recap. And then the main event exclusive of Joe Gomez versus Ruckus Currency of WCW Worldwide. Remember Joe Gomez versus Ruckus and Currency WCW Worldwide. Lord Stephen Wood versus Sergeant Craig Pickman. And on WCW Worldwide, same day, July 14, 1996, Alex Wright defeated Mox Star. Key Morris defeated Cobra. Scott Steins defeated Public Enemy. Eddie Guerrero defeated Moondog, defeated Disco Inferno, and Sergeant Craig Pickman defeated Lord Stephen Rude by DQ, and Randy Savage defeated Man. They showed a highlight of that day of Hulk Hogan's heel turn. From Black Bash Beach '96, joining the NWO Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. On Sunday Night Heat, Gateway Arena in Sylacauga, Umaga with Martin Helion Estrada defeated Wyatt Lara. Tag team match: Lance Cage and Trevor Murray defeated Preston James and Scott Commodity. Singles match: Kenny with Johnny, Mikey, and Mitch, and Nikki defeated Gene Snitsky. And Gateway win Soups, Iowa. Let's see, and on Sunday Night Heat, on Thursday, Friday Night SmackDown. Matt Hardy defeated Matt Hardy defeated Mr. Kennedy. JB Noel with Kid Cash defeated Paul London. Brian Kendrick Fit Finley defeated Bobby Lashley to win the U.S. title. Rey Mysterio defeated William Regal with King Booker and Queen Shamel. One second, yeah. Friday Night SmackDown. Yeah, they showed the Divas, the little Sergeant Slaughter turn. It shows a little Sergeant Slaughter Divas boot camp contest. Then Booker we see a contract signed between Batista and Mark Henry for leading up to Great American Bash. Sasha Banks defeated Dana Brooke with Charlotte Flair by submission. Dolph Ziggler defeated Rusev with Lana. The clubs, AJ Styles and Carlos Luke Gallows defeated Big Cass and Enzo Amore by submission. Lisa Cole with Sin Cara defeated Tyler Breeze via Fandango. Dean Ambrose versus Kevin Owens and no contest. Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins defeated Dean Ambrose and Sami Zayn. And we'll see Miz TV special guest Daniel Young and WWE Hall of Famer Bob Backlund. Oh, wait a minute, and so some pop culture for 2006. A few movies were released in theaters. A few years nationwide called a movie called Little Man was released in theaters, starring Sean Wayne's brother Marlon Wayans, directed by their brother Keenan Ivory Wayans. Yeah, You Me Dupree, really funny movie was released in theaters. Oh, You Me Dupree starring O. Wilson, Kate Hudson, Matt Dillon, Michael Douglas. Really, a real funny movie. I like that movie. Real funny movie. Seth Rogen was a supporting role in the head in that cast, and Amanda Detmer was supporting actress in that movie. Yeah, You Me Dupree, that was a real funny movie. I like that movie. Sorry about that. Never mind that bell sound, everybody. Never mind that bell sound. Let's go to the next day, July 15th. Okay, on this day in 2006, we lost a little wrestler. This wrestler passed away June 15, 2006. His name is Bob Orton Sr. He was like Randy. Who was he? Randy Orton, WWE Hall of Fame. He was like Randy Orton's grandfather. Yeah, I think it was Randy Orton's grandfather. Yeah, that was Randy Orton's grandfather. But yeah, and Bob Orton's dad. Yeah, yeah, he died of heart failure June 20, 1929. He died of heart failure on June 15, 2006. In Kansas City. Heath Slater turns. Let's see. Hold on a second. Heath Slater turns. Heath Slater turns 43 today. Yeah, Forrest Whitaker turns 65 5 today. Brian Austin Green, best known for his role on TV show 90210, he turns 53 today. And Gabriel, student and comedian, Gabriel Iglesias turns 50 today. And Linda Ronstadt turns 80 today, legendary musician. And Diane Kruger, German actress Diane Kruger, she turns 50 today. She turns 50 years old today. Yeah, I mentioned Jesse Bobby Ventura turns 76 turns 75 today. And on this day in 1986, Lionel Richie's hit single "Dancing on the Ceiling" was hit single "Dancing on the Ceiling" from his album 1985 album "Dancing on the Ceiling" was released on this day is 1986 July 15th. Anna Jay from AEW, she turns 27 today, 27. 28 today, 28. Yeah, and let's see what other what birthdays today. Well, I think okay. Okay, let's go to the next day on 1996 on WCW Prime. WCW Prime. So, okay, Sergeant Craig Pittman defeated Kurosawa. Joe Gomez defeated Pat Tanaka. I think. Hold on, wait. Yeah, Joe Gomez defeated Pat Tanaka. Then on the Monday Night Wars. Then on the Monday Night Wars between WCW, between WWE Monday Night Raw on USA Network and WCW Monday Night on TNT. On WWF, on WWE Super, on WWE Raw on USA Network the night before, In Your House International Incident. An old friend of mine from Pittsburgh remembers this night. On this day in this takes place in Green Bay, Wisconsin, in Brown County Expo. Intercontinental Ahmed Johnson will defeat WWE Tag Team Champion Bart Gunn with Sonny with a spine buster in the Pearl River Plunge. Mark Merrill was Sable defeated T.L. Harper with a right jab and a left hand punch. Tried about Goldust Usher came in the ringside handed Sable a box. Ooh, Mark Merrill's not gonna like this. Yep, the Wild Man's not gonna like this. And WWE Champion Shawn Michaels with Jose Rivera defeated WWE Tag Team Champion Billy Gunn with Sonny with the elbow drop off the super kick. Yeah, two fellow future DX, two future DX buddies face to face. I know Pittsburgh, a friend of mine from Pittsburgh agrees with me this. Yeah, two members of DX, two of Triple H's buddies go face to face, and two of his DX buddies go face to face. Shawn Michaels and Billy Gunn face to face. After the bout, Jim Cornette baited Michaels and Ahmed Johnson into an ambush after throwing water into Shawn's face, causing both men to chase him into the parking lot, where they were attacked by Kent Cornette until Psycho Sid made the save. Then on that same night on WCW Monday Nitro, at the Disney MGM Studios, Orlando, Florida. No friend of mine from Pittsburgh remembers this. Yeah, I was in Orlando. Yeah, I was vacationing in Orlando. Me and my family were vacationing in Orlando. When it happened, it was when we were in Orlando. The Steiner brothers, Rick Steiner and Scott Steiner, defeated Fire and Ice. Dean Malenko defeated Billy Kidman. Harlem Heat, Booker T, and Steve Ray with Sister Sherry defeated Rough and Ready's Dick Slater and Mike Enos with Colonel Tom Parker to retain the WCW World Tag Team Championship. Nusa defeated Mila Osaka. Ming with Jimmy Hart defeated Arn Anderson. Eddie Guerrero defeated Christopher Wild by count. Lex Luger, Big Bubba Rogers, some we know as was Big Bossman with Jimmy Hart, ended no contest with the WCW World TV Championship match. Then Hulk Hogan comes out here and issues a challenge. Comes out here after his heel turn, makes his appearance on Nitro along with Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, and he issues a challenge to face off against Giant. Issue challenge to Giant for the World Heavyweight title at Hog Wild, which is Hog Wild, which is August the 10th, 1996, for the World Champion. Where Hulk Hogan has some kind of grudge against Giant for taking the from the World Heavyweight, for taking the WCW World Heavyweight title from Halloween Havoc '95. And Hogan got his revenge on that day at Hog Wild '96, August 10th, 1996. Sturgis. Then in 2006, July 15, 2006 on Saturday Night's Main Event aired on NBC. Rey this took place in Dallas, Texas. American Airlines Arena. The event drew 17,344 people, which were 14,500 were paid. The event aired live on NBC and drew a 2.6 rating. This was the first series featuring ECW brand, which was relaunched in June 2006. Jerry the King good old JR Jim Ross and Jerry King Lawler are commentators for Raw. Michael Cole and John the Brash Laver are commentators for SmackDown, and Joey Styles and Taz are commentators for ECW. Joey Styles, Jason Rollins was ring announcer. Batista, Rey Mysterio, Bobby Lashley defeated Mark Henry and Finlay and King Booker and Queen Shamel, winning Regal in a 6-man tag team match. Carlito and Trish Stratus defeated Johnny Nitro and Melina in a mixed tag team match. And DX, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels defeated Spirit Squad, Kenny, Mitch, Nikki, and Johnny and Mikey. And Nikki, who some of you know was Dolph Ziggler, in a handicap elimination match. Michelle McCool defeated Victoria in the Diva Bull Riding contest. Then we see Randy Orton calling out Hulk Hogan to face him to issue challenge to face him in a match at SummerSlam 2006. And then backstage segment with Hulk Hogan, backstage showing Hulk Hogan gets the RKO from Brooke Hogan and Randy Orton starts to flirt with his daughter Brooke. And Randy Orton puts the RKO on Hogan. And Brooke starts to get shot. And then what happened was in the next match, Sabu defeated Stevie Richards. And John Cena defeated Edge with Lita. And Sabu defeated Steve Richards in the Extreme Rules match. And John Cena defeated Edge by Lita by disqualification match for the WWE Championship. And this day in 2016, June 15th. A movie called The Infiltrator. A couple movies released in theaters. Ghostbusters revival, a female revival, a little reboot was released in theaters. Ghostbusters, starring Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Reed, Kate McKinnon, Leslie Jones, Charles Dance, Michael K. Williams, and Liam Hemsworth was released in theaters. And a movie called Cafe Society starring Jesse Einsberg, Blake Lively, Parker Posey, Kristen Stewart was released in theaters. And Steve Carell, directed by Woody Allen. And that's it. That is it. That'll do for my that'll do for my show guy everything covered. I'm the Godfather Soldier and Slimming. It's a late Chad Henshaw sale. Dress up, check it, dance like Larry. She dance like James Brown, like to get in a hot tub. Gonna be sweat, gonna be dry, gonna be wet. Learn to Eddie Murphy doing an impression of James Brown, Saturday Night Back. He's never good, man. He's good nights, but I started ruining old school Saturday night when I was little. So So I hope all of you so I hope I have so I hope I have a good night. Subscribe to me. Have a good night. I never grew up in the 80s. I grew up in the 90s. Like I said before about never grew up in the 80s. I grew up in the 90s. Watching old Saturday Night Live back in the 80s. I saw reruns of it back in the 90s. Like I said, on Comedy Central. So I hope you have a good night, all of you. I got some close out show for all of you tonight. I'm close out the show with a song, R&B hit single called "All the Things Your Man Won't Do," sung by Joe. So I hope I have a good night. And here it is close out the show tonight. All You Things Your Man Won't Do, a little R&B single. No one hit the charts in R&B charts in 1996 by Joe. One of my favorite songs when I was little, from the Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking Juice in the Hood movie soundtrack. So I hope I have a good night. Here it is, close out the show.